Back with the meteorologist Casey Cloud here in the Weather Center right now, tracking another severe thunderstorm warning. This one for St. Augustine. Gonna be a pretty short-fused one, I think. Here it is at 6:15. Seeing some rotation again. Not enough for a tornado warning, but enough to say there could be some damage possible around St. Augustine. So we're probably not be on very long. I would not think with this, but I would think that would be the storyline, and that we would not be on very long here. I would not think we'd be on really here really too long. I'm trying to explain that to you guys. So, again, we'll just keep you guys up to date here on what's going on. Let's go ahead and look. It looks like, honestly, that area of spin that they saw here, that area of spin that they saw, they issued a warning right after that, and it's already pushed out into the coastal waters that quickly here. No tornado warning was issued or anything like that. It wasn't quite to that point. We're seeing some heavy rain and gusty winds around St. Augustine. There could be some issues there in toward that area here as we're looking at things, as we're tracking things. So you can kind of see some reds here, indicative winds 30, 40. Be interested if we get some gusts there closer to 50. But I wanted to jump in case we had some type of spin really tighten up on us real quick. Honestly, probably could have just posted that. You see a little bit of wind enhancement right there at the coast, just east of A1A, south of St. Augustine Beach, and just that side of the warning. But they may drop this warning really quickly here because that area kind of came together and now has left the land areas here in very, very short order. So, again, just continuing to watch things here for a moment. We were trying to stick with you a little bit longer in case that happened, but that's just how it plays out sometimes in the meteorology world. You can see, I guess, the 36 miles an hour recently at Jacksonville International Airport. Some areas of spin here right at the coast, but they don't look that impressed. That area we're watching on Sawgrass, most of that's really pushed off into the coastal waters now. So that's some good news here. Again, that area around St. Augustine has as well. Okay, something interesting comes from St. Augustine that would still be an ongoing threat, and that might cause them to issue some type of flash flood warning then, is that you see all this heavy rain on the radar. Let me take off our severe thunderstorm warning tab. They're now telling us that emergency management's reporting that 3 miles south Ponte Vedra Beach there. Okay, so let's say that about 3 miles southwest of South Ponte Vedra Beach. So 545 St. Johns County Emergency Management reporting significant flooding there along and east of U.S. Highway 1 in the vicinity of Palencia. Waters covering neighborhood roads north of the St. Augustine Airport. So, okay, so we're starting to maybe turn into more of a flood situation then. So even if we see that thunderstorm warning go away pretty quick, we might have to stay with you for a moment for a flooding situation. These are some areas that can flood. Of course, St. Augustine, the nation's oldest city. And we're talking about areas you see South Ponte Vedra Beach on the map, not Ponte Vedra Beach. I know it can get confusing here at times, but as we're looking at things, but we're talking about South Ponte Vedra Beach, 3 miles southwest of there is what we're talking about. Some of that flooding here taking place, apparently significant flooding here along and east of U.S. Highway 1 in the vicinity of Palencia. Waters covering neighborhood roads north of the St. Augustine Airport. So, again, that's kind of the storyline there right now. Let's check our power outage numbers. Let's see what we got here. We're talking about over 1,000 customers in Dark and Clay County, according to Clay. There's the county name on the power.us map, and that's Clay Electric, where that showed up a moment ago at least, and still 1,285 customers in the dark, according to that map from Clay Electric. Not seeing really in St. John's, any in St. John's right now, not seeing that. Duval closer to 1,000 as the last check from power.us. So, again, maybe turning more into a flood situation than here toward parts of St. Johns County. You can kind of see our 1 hour rainfall. Look at that. I mean, that's where the flooding is. We talked about it earlier on. We were seeing these numbers that just continue to go up. This one area here that's picked up in the last hour over 3 inches. And then overall, that's almost 6 inches there on South Ponte Vedra Beach and to the south of there, closer toward US 1. That's 6 inches of rain, folks. And it's still pouring, at least for a little while longer. So I wouldn't be completely shocked to see if they issue a flash flood warning in here. Because more of a rapid water rise then. By the way, a lot of that is in Clay County, or closer up to the northeast part of the county, if you guys are wanting to know. Did have a land spout observed earlier, somewhere in that general region, but flood warning is in play right now. Not a flash flood warning, but a flood warning for parts of St. Johns County to 7. Not when they got from the weather radio. If this rain were to continue heavy a little longer, they might go flash flood. Maybe if it kind of slacks off pretty soon, and maybe they just stick with the regular base flood warning, which is one that didn't go off on the weather radio. I mean, it is an alert though, but not good to hear that much rain. Hear a lot of it in a pretty short period of time in an area. It sounds like that definitely, as many areas would have, and that rainfall come down pretty quick. But I mean, this one here close to the coast, I mean, it seems like it could have at least a little bit of maybe ability there to be flood prone. But again, right now we're watching. You see this area here in the gray is indicative of 6 inches of rain that has happened here around South Ponte Vedra Beach, and you see right there near U.S. Highway 1 in the vicinity of Valencia, that little icon there on the screen is indicating that water is covering the neighborhood roads north of the St. Augustine Airport, according to St. Johns County Emergency Management. So that's some news you don't want to hear, obviously, but we're hopeful. It looks like, based on the current scans, that we could get out of the heaviest rainfall here fairly quickly, hopefully. Seeing a little bit more building back there, but it shouldn't build back too much more. Okay, we're being told now. Okay, this is from WJAX and WFOX. Now they've sent us that as a local storm report from 4:40 this afternoon. Broadcast media reported the land spout apparently 1 mile north of Asbury Lake. Apparently a public video of a land spout or reef tornado touching down in the vicinity of Lake Asbury. No immediate reports of damage were available at the time of the event based on the radar data. So that's some more clarification on what we were talking about a little bit earlier on. So apparently maybe a brief tornado in there around Lake Asbury. There wasn't any warning there. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in up here. You can see areas there around Doctor's Inlet and the like. And then let's kind of get our bearings here on everything. I know the OSR should show up in just a moment here. It's just show up in just a moment. It's kind of that time we were watching, honestly, as it was trying to get across our Bradford County zones. I mean, looking further up. This is right earlier, if you're wondering what I'm trying to do here right now. I'm trying to kind of go back and see what happened here. So, again, looking at our maps here. So I want to make sure I'm looking here. This is just east of Middleburg here with Lake Asbury. So, again, Asbury Lake, what we're talking about, the scenario here. So, I mean, that's that area. Look at that. I'll back it up even further then. So that's some of that stuff we were watching Northern Bradford then earlier on that we came on for. We were getting concerned. It was actually, I think, the area around Lodi that might have done it, but it's hard to say for sure. I have to look at this, maybe slow a few more times. So let's kind of look at this here. That's 454. So maybe around, yeah, right there, I think. Yeah, right there we had some greens and reds come together. That was at 4:40. I mean, right there when the video apparently came out then, really, in terms of that timestamp from it. I mean, we're just being told of it now, but the timestamp was 4:40. So, again, you can kind of see there watching the scans. I know we came on for, we were a little concerned about some stuff in Bradford. I don't think we had anything here, but you can kind of see we had some different scans here. I'm just trying to get an idea. I mean, it's that same area in general, but just kind of scrubbing back and forth here, live on the air with you guys. Again, around 4:40 or so, we had a tightening here in the velocity scans. And then let's go ahead and kind of load in our debris tracker to see if we had any debris with this. So that might be where they got that tag from, but it was, I mean, by the time we saw that, it was later on in the timeline, so that's why they didn't issue maybe a tornado warning. But Okay, there's 440 on debris tracker. Let's go up one more. Don't see a lot, so maybe it's pretty weak in nature, hopefully. Maybe a little bit of something right there. Let's see. Let me make sure we're kind of getting our bearings still. It's kind of on the edge there. I don't see a lot. Maybe a little something in there. So hopefully it wasn't anything too definitive. But let's go back to St. Augustine here in the current scenario then. As we're at 6 o'clock, you see that little flood report there. It's starting to slack off. The heaviest rain is turning into more moderate type of downpours now. You still see the 1 hour over 3 inches. That color table is a little bit different. It goes up to 3 inches there at the peak for that, but this one goes to 5 inches, about the same color. I know it can be a little confusing, but this is indicating over 6 inches in a longer period of time. But this indicates 3 inches here in an hour. The similar colors there, right there, as we're looking toward U.S. Highway 1. So around St. Augustine, looking at things there. Again, you can kind of see what we're talking about with the heavy rainfall back on this mode. On this, you see some wind, nothing overwhelming now, but again, you see around Crescent Beach a little bit of rotation, but that's moving just off the coast there, it would seem at this point. So that's some good news. Again, that's the morning to go away pretty soon. I don't think I'm going to go with a flash flood warning at this point because it's moving quick enough. I'll watch to see if there's additional alerts here. I know, again, big news right now is that just coming in that the local storm report indicating that at 4:40, 1 mile north of Asbury Lake or Lake Asbury there, we had a video there from Action News Jax that there was a land spatter or a brief tornado touchdown in that zone. No immediate reported damage were available in the time of event based on radar. So hopefully didn't have any damage, but still interesting to hear about. Again, that's in Clay County, not far from Middleburg. We might have had a brief tornado touchdown. Again, we see the EF scale earlier on, and that was indicating here a situation where if we didn't have winds of 65, then maybe not a tornado, but I know it can get a little tricky in there, but again, in terms of being rated anyway. But again, the severe thunderstorm warning continuing. This severe thunderstorm warning continuing here for a little while longer. Let me just see if there's any questions, any comments, anything here from any of the viewers at home. I know we've jumped in quite a bit here lately, trying to give you guys the latest. See Suzanne here watching. Thanks so much for tuning in, Suzanne, as we continue to watch, as we're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch right now for just a little while longer. I'll put a voice right now in a different area, probably, I would think, in St. John's and Toledo, unless they're just kind of covering it back behind the flood warning. You see Stark's all clear right now, but we'll have more chances of rain in the days to come, and we'll see you in our full forecast later tonight as we look ahead to that full update somewhere around midnight or so. But again, you have Facebook, Casey Cloud Reacts, Facebook Cloud Weather, Twitter at Cloud Casey, YouTube at Cloud Weather, Twitch Cloud Weather, and website cloud.com. So again, just kind of breaking everything down for you here in the Weather Center. Again, that website cloudweather.com. So again, letting you guys know exactly what is going on here. Again, you see around St. Augustine, not too much with the winds anymore. That flooding there in that area. Remember, turn around, don't drown if you encounter flooded roadways. So again, just continue to watch things here. We'll continue to track them. Again, have that forecast for the days to come as we look ahead here in toward the timeline. We're not being told maybe there's another land spatter tornado here in Clay County. Okay, this was at 5:05 then. I didn't have any tornado warnings here, but at 5:05 there, there's a report of a land spatter brief tornado touchdown just west of the Sands Bridge near Green Cove Springs now. This was based on radar data, so let's go ahead and go in there. So, okay, that might be where we got our land spatter confirmed tag at then. Let's see. So let's go back on the radar here. Again, we had a tornado warning this morning out toward Liberty and out toward Franklin and our far western areas. At least I guess that kind of give you a heads up that the atmosphere is a little bit conducive for some, I guess you could say, nonsense here at this point. You had that warning to east, by the way, at that time. But there wasn't a warning out here. Again, I've scrubbed the radar back. This, I know you see 6:05. That's our current time, but scrubbed the radar back here to about 5:03. And a little bit of rotation there, right around Green Cove. Nothing overwhelming. But yeah, you see it right there near, I mean, right over State Road 16 pretty much. And then there's your bridge. I mean, right there at it. I mean, okay, so east, southeast of Green Cove, just west of the Sands Bridge. So there you go. I mean, you can see that right in there. Some green and red. Not enough maybe for a tornado warning. I don't think I would have issued on that, honestly. I mean, I see why they didn't issue on it. It wasn't really standing out, but this setup here, indicative of maybe a landspat or a brief tornado touchdown just west of the Sands Bridge near Green Cove Springs around 5:05 here this afternoon. So let's go ahead and see what we have there. I'm just checking here. You don't see anything really on the breach tracker again. Whoa, wait a minute. Was that something? 5:02 maybe? That might have been a little something, actually. Let's see. That could just be inflow. Yeah, that's a weird spot. I mean, but it kind of overtakes by then. So there's your area. Don't really see anything at that point. So maybe back here. It's 5:02. As we're doing some radar analysis, you don't see much there, but there was some rotation. So maybe that was a little bit of debris signature in there, right? So, I mean, not a guarantee one way or the other, but hopefully nothing was hit. I don't see reports of damage out of this, but they didn't say there wasn't any, like they did in the other statement. So that's kind of interesting as we're looking at things. So again, an odd scenario here, but interesting to see how they determine this, because I can't remember a time where we've had these little spins here pretty much confirmed down to the surface, but we're not really sure what a landspout really was in terms of maybe if it actually was that or if it was a tornado. Gonna have a little lesson, I guess, over the days to come for everybody, including the meteorologist, to figure out if we're going to call stuff landspouts, if we're going to call stuff tornadoes here, in terms of what might have happened if we have any damage. It'd be good if we didn't, but then might not actually get any type of surveys. I don't really know where they want to go with that. But again, expiring a severe thunderstorm warning for St. John's now. So that's some good news. We didn't see much there after the initial little push. But we have that rain still falling 5-6 inches there. According to radar, again, out toward the area around South Ponte Vedra Beach. I mean, some of these areas are showing over 6.2 inches of rain in this area here today. I mean, a lot of this in the last hour. I mean, this right here, I know the color tables get a little weird, but that's 3 inches in the last hour in that one area there, because the color table, that's about a max on both those whitest, grayest colors. So, like 3 inches in an hour on one, 5 plus on the other, kind of maxes that out. But again, just continuing to watch, continuing to track. I'll go to other color table because it's a little bit different, I would say, on this. It counts for higher rain sometimes. You see that flood report there. And then I'll go back over 12 hours. You see that yellow there, indicative of about 6 inches, 6.61 on this product now. So, and then in the last hour, that red a little over 3 inches. So, again, that's something that's kind of intriguing. We'll watch for more little spins. Again, really tough there. I mean, but they were showing up just a tad. And just got to stay safe out there here on this Tuesday. Well, more later on. A very peculiar situation here for sure. And we're trying to give you guys the latest on it. We never had any local eastern county type tornado warnings. We had that one out toward the western counties this morning in Liberty and Franklin, but haven't had any in Clay. But we might have had at least, it sounds like 2 landspouts at the minimum, maybe 2 brief weak tornadoes. We'll see how that gets determined in the hours and days to come. But I think that's going to wrap it up for the time being. Just had the flood warning, the marine warning. We don't have any flash flood warning. Severe thunderstorm warning technically still there till 6:15 because they expired. It didn't cancel it, but the overall threat is dwindled on down for now. But if we have a situation here where things ramp on up, of course we'll let you guys know. But technically the warning still goes 6:15, even if it's not on the map. But again, the threat is kind of dwindled down. If we need to break back in, we will. You have Facebook, Casey Clyde Reacts, Cloud Weather. We'll just post alerts if needed there at Cloud Casey on Twitter. You have YouTube at Cloud Weather. You can hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already on that for live streaming covered in addition to the other sources when we need to do that, like we're doing now. Go to Cloud Weather and any other website, cloudweather.com. So that's going to do it for now. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for trusting me.